This kind of brings me to ask, and I ask everybody this question,
Yeah.
especially if they've been acting for a long time. What are your favorite memories being on stage at the Playhouse, and some funny stories, if you have any funny stories?
Oh, favorite memories. There's too many favorite memories. Being directed by Joe Scarfell.
Mm-hmm. That's an experience.
Oh, it's like camp. It's camp, and he has the most flowery language. Have you interviewed Joe, correct?
Oh yeah. He was our first one.
Yes. Was there a lot of editing and beeping and
No, actually,
bleeping?
there wasn't.
Really?
There really wasn't.
I'm impressed. Just anything with him is a blast because of his vast knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
I think the connections of the people that you meet. I think that's my favorite part. I mean, my best friends in the world are people that I've pretty much most met from theater. And I mean, I grew up in this town, so I have friends that I've known my whole life. But some of my best friends now that I hang out with most are all kind of come from theater. Because it's the same kind of mindset, too. They're creative and they're usually more optimistic than most.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
My favorite memories, I guess my favorite memory was the very first show I ever did when I had a role, which was Bedroom Farce. Because it was just the first time I was on stage actually doing something. And to hear laughter coming from the audience on the Youngstown Playhouse stage, I was like, whoa.
Yeah, it
Dude,
does something.
this is it,
Yeah.
man. I felt like $1 million. So I think that first initial wave, and the crazy thing is that you feel that wave with every show. Every show changes, but you still
It
can,
does.
if you want it to. I mean, if you're paying attention to it. I have actually doing what was it? Pillow Man, back in the back of the Moyer room. David L. Hatton was in it with me, and it was one of Dave's shows after he had been sick for quite a while, and it was one of his second shows back. And he was having a hard time memorizing lines and trying to remember because he had been sick for so long. And it was the day of the show, and we were here in the afternoon, running through lines. And Dave was still not there, not just all over the place. And he and I got into a heated argument. I'm like, I have kids. I don't need to be here with you. If you're not going to take this seriously, I said, what are you doing? And I walked out. He's MFing me, and I'm like, walked out. 5 minutes later, we walk back in, and I go, you ready? He goes, yeah. And we did it flawless. Flawless. And from that point on, he looked at me and goes, I needed that. I go, I know, you asked. So
Sometimes those moments happen, and they have to happen.
And they have to happen,
Yeah.
right? Because also, too, when you have talented people, David was incredibly,
yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
Also, you get lazy and complacent sometimes.
Sometimes you do.
Sometimes. And so that little kick in the pants, sometimes. And plus it was just fear. I was scared. It's tough to be out there with somebody when they forget. You're like,
yeah.
it's the longest. It's the world quiets. You can hear everything. And you're like, and panic mode inside your head is freaking.
Yeah.
And you're trying to remain very stoic on the outside.
And you're trying to come up with something intelligent to say that pertains
gosh.
to what your scene is.
Yeah. Fun being able to do shows here at the old arena. I got to do True West downstairs at the old arena.
That was a great place.
It was a phenomenal space.